To work the herringbone stitch for the Herringbone Lace Wrap Cardigan, we're going to start with the number of stitches we want in the row, worked already in UK half trebles or US half doubles. So in this row we've got 8 stitches. To start your row of herringbone stitch, you're going to work 3 chains. And then you're going to work into the next stitch. So yarn round hook, through the next stitch's head, yarn round hook again, pull through both the head of the previous stitch and also the loop on the hook. Yarn round hook again, pull through the next loop on the hook, yarn round hook again and pull this time through 2 loops on the hook, and you can see how this starts to slant. Yarn round hook again for the next stitch, through the head of the stitch below, yarn round, pull through the head of the stitch and the first loop on the hook, yarn round hook and through the next loop on the hook, yarn round hook and then through the 2. And you can see already you're getting this lovely slant to the stitches, which is going to produce the herringbone stitch. So we'll keep working until the end. Don't forget to work into your turning chain on that foundation row. In exactly the same way through the top chain and the first loop on the hook, through the second loop on the hook, and then through both remaining loops on the hook. So you can see all the stitches, instead of standing upright like the stitches in the foundation row, are slanting towards the end. We're now going to turn the work and we'll be doing exactly the same thing here. It's a 1 row repeat. So we'll be working 3 chains at the start and then into the head of the next stitch. We'll wrap the yarn around the hook, through the head of the stitch and the first loop on the hook, yarn round hook and through the next loop, yarn round hook and then onto the final 2, through the final 2 loops on the hook. Yarn round hook again, pull through the stitch head and the first loop on the hook, pull through the next loop on the hook and pull through the 2 remaining loops on the hook. So you can see in this row the stitches are stretching in the opposite direction, and as we work each stitch into the stitch head it opens up quite nicely because we're using a lightweight yarn and a larger hook than we would normally use for this size. I would normally work this yarn on a 2.5mm to 3mm hook, and this is a 5mm hook, so a much larger hook than usual. Continue working all the way along in exactly the same way. And don't forget to work into that final stitch, which is made of the 3 chains. You need to work through the 3rd chain. Sometimes that can get a little bit tight. Again, working also through the first loop at the same time, the second one, and then the remaining two. So again here you can see the chevron shape starting to form here, which will continue to make a nice pattern at the end of, for example, the sleeve or the front panels of the cardigan. So when you place the piece of stitching down and you block it, you can block these ends into nice crisp points. And similarly on the other side, so you get that zigzag effect going, and as you block and open up the stitch, you'll really see that herringbone design develop within the pattern. I hope that helps you make your herringbone lace wrap cardigan, or it's a stitch you can use for many other projects as well.